Sun Tzu and Dream. Although they are two very different people, as Dream is a good Minecraft player and Sun Tzu was a Chinese military strategist, they both show massive amounts of experience when it comes to strategizing in battles. And you know what? I thought I needed some strategy improvement myself. So I decided to analyze 100 Dream Manhunts, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about everything I have learned from Dream while watching them, and maybe by the end of the video, you'll improve your battle skills in not only Minecraft, but any battle. Also, I know there's only 18 manhunts at the moment, not 100, but I sat through each one multiple times to get the full knowledge. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Now, there's no doubt in almost every single manhunt recently, the odds are against Dream. With 2 or more hunters trying to kill him, it makes it extremely difficult to win battles, but the thing is, he still wins the majority of the battles he fights. And after 5 videos, he won the trophy in the Speedrunner vs 3 Hunters series. I would say one of the most major things that is always on Dream's side, which he's used to win these manhunts, is the art of surprise. When Dream is going against an enemy who has stronger numbers and gear than him, he doesn't carelessly rush them or let them keep their guard up. Instead, he waits for the perfect opportunity to catch his opponents off guard when they're least expecting it. A prime example of this is when Dream is hiding in a cave that the hunters followed him into. As they pass by, he ambushes them and starts fighting, and then he splashes an invisibility potion on the ground, making it so everyone looked the same, and the hunters don't know who is who. This leads to confusion among the hunters, and Dream is able to easily kill one of them in the midst of the chaos and get away.
Where is he? I don't see him.
Oh my god!
He's right behind us!
Careful.
He's dead. He's dead. Wait, what?
Wait.
Which one? We're invisible. Which one is he?
This one's Dream. This one's Dream. This one's Dream.
No.
This is me.
I'm dying!
Who is this? Stop. Everybody stop.
This play was huge for Dream. The hunters wouldn't have expected this in 100 years, which is why it worked. And if he didn't stun them with the invisibility potion and fought them head on, he no doubt would have gotten clapped. Dream isn't the only one who has mastered the art of surprise in battle though. Throughout history, guerrilla warfare, or ambushing and sabotaging the enemy with hit and run tactics, has been used countless times and proves to be extremely useful when outnumbered. As Sun Tzu would even say, mystify, mislead, and surprise the enemy, and that's exactly what Dream does to the hunters. The next thing I've learned from Dream is knowing when to play offense and when to play defense. Similar to surprising the enemy and using that to your advantage, knowing when to attack and when not to attack can easily combat against a stronger enemy. Dream doesn't usually fight all hunters at once since he knows that could be a death trap. Instead, he'll run away and try to split them up, and once one of the hunters is by themselves, making it a 1v1, then Dream will attack since his chances of winning are more likely. Somehow Dream makes these decisions extremely quickly as well. Like here, Dream is on defense, running for his life from all 3 hunters and only has 1 heart. He needs to get them split up before he fights back, so he drinks a fire resistance potion which they mistaken for a strength potion, and they immediately split up and run off in the other direction. Then Dream knows they're more vulnerable now that they're alone, so he goes on the offensive and chases after the hunters and ends up killing one of them.
Oh my goodness.
He's drinking a potion.
He's drinking. He's drinking.
Run!
What does he have?
It's strength. Just right.
Oh,
He's
come
coming.
here, George!
Tree.
George, no. George,
Kill him.
no!
Yes!
George!
As Sun Tzu would even say, avoid strength, attack weakness. Now before we get into the next Dream strategy, I just want to say if you're enjoying the video so far and are feeling up to it, consider subscribing, but you know, if you're not feeling up to it, that's perfectly okay. Back to the video. Alright, so for the third thing I've learned from Dream is how much he pays attention to his opponents and notices their weaknesses. Dream really do be Sherlock Holmes out here. Every single move, every single sound, every single thing that the hunters do, he will study that in a matter of seconds and figure out how to use it to his advantage. It's actually crazy how good he is at focusing on his opponents and figuring out when they're most weak and easy to kill. An example of this is when Dream is being chased through the jungle and decides to tower up to get away from the hunters and to regen his health. While doing this, he shoots one of the hunters, George, with a bow a few times and notices how George screams while he runs away to to cover. This tells Dream that George is in distress and is almost dead. So Dream jumps off to kill George, and he was right. George dies almost instantly.
String.
No!
George,
No!
oh my goodness, I saved you. Did I just save you?
No! Oh,
Do not engage. Do not engage. I know you have string.
Oh!
Give me string.
I don't have string.
Ah, he's jumping. He's jumping. Get him.
Yes!
That isn't just me guessing what Dream's mindset was too. He actually said that's how he knew to go for George in one of his analysis videos. But the main takeaway from that is if you study your opponents in battle, they can be your best weapon. Also, not only can he detect his enemy's weaknesses and act upon them, but rarely does he ever show his own weaknesses, which brings us into the next topic, deception. Now, I'm not sure if Dream has read Sun Tzu's The Art of War, but there's no doubt that Dream has mastered the art of deception. And in scenarios when you're outnumbered, outgeared, and about to die, deception is a game changer. Basically, what Dream will do is make himself seem stronger than he actually is to the hunters. He may be on one heart or be in a bad situation, but he almost never shows it to his enemies. The reason this matters is if he did show that he was weak in whatever way, the hunters can use it against him and it gives them huge leverage in the battle. But Dream doesn't give them those hints of weakness, so it gives them no idea if he has full health or not. Like in this clip, Dream is chasing after the 3 hunters, and this entire battle he has less than 3 hearts. Even though Dream could die if he got poked by a stick, the hunters don't know that, and as far as they know, Dream is chasing after them with full hearts since he is appearing way stronger to them than he actually is by being so aggressive. In the end, the hunters never end up taking the opportunity to attack Dream and kill him, which leads to them running away like little ants while Dream can regenerate his health.
Diving. I'm diving. He's literally coming down. I'm gonna lead him. I'm gonna lead him down.
Come here, George.
Hear me? Okay. He
Oh
ran.
my god, he's on me. He's on me.
Get in. Get in. Get in.
Get in, George!
George, get in.
George, get in! Get in!
Yes,
Let's go! Let's go!
No! Yes, I'm on my heart. I'm on half a heart. Let's go.
This could go the other way too. You could have full health and run from your enemy, making them think you're low, but to their surprise, you turn on them with full health. As Sun Tzu would say, appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. The next thing I've learned that I want to talk about is how Dream uses every single thing that is available to his advantage, like his items and his surroundings. This may not seem that significant, but it's actually really important, especially when you're on the run. A lot of the times when Dream is running from the hunters, he will climb onto trees to make his pursuers have a harder time chasing him, or he'll jump over a random hole and punch the hunters down into it. And in this clip, he even uses a giant mountain to jump off of and break his fall with the hay bale to save his life.
Join
Coming up.
us.
What's he doing? He's cornering.
Is he actually going up?
What?
Oh, he's
my
dead.
God.
Bye,
he's
Dream.
done.
What?
He's done. He's done.
What?
What?
These few things was all he had at the time. The game had just started and he somehow used some hay and the landscape around him to get away from the hunters. Paying attention to your surroundings and belongings and how you can use them like Dream does could be the difference between life and death. Another thing I've noticed from watching all of these manhunts that adds onto the whole use everything you can idea is how Dream tries to hold on to as many items as possible. If you look at the times when he opens his inventory mid to end game, 90% of the time there will only be a few slots open, which is pretty smart because you never know what stuff you may need later on and can use. It's not worth throwing something out that seems useless at the time when you have free space, because 10 minutes later when you need it to save your life, you're gonna be ashamed of yourself since you threw it out. Now, I'm not saying you should become a level 5 hoarder, but you know, if something may seem like it can be used later on and you got free space, you know, you might as well hold on to it. Now, the final thing I've learned from watching 100 Dream Manhunts is to never give up. Yeah, I know that sounds super basic and I don't know, it sounds like I'm preaching something, but let me explain. The amount of times that Dream has been in some situation where it looked like he couldn't save himself, but he still ended up surviving is mind-blowing. One super good example of this is in his speedrunner versus 2 hunters video. Basically, Dream manages to get to the end with the 2 hunters chasing after him, but they end up cornering him and they smack him over the edge. With little time left, Dream keeps looking up without saying a word, and as one of the hunters, George, George kills the other hunter Sapnap for no reason, Sapnap's ender pearls fall gracefully into Dream's hands. He is then able to pearl out from his death, a very, very close call.
Crying! What are you doing? Get back! Yes!
Fuck
I
off,
broke
fuck
the
off.
water! I broke the water! Yes!
Bye, Dream.
Yes!
George!
Yes! Bye, Dream! You're so bad! Yes! Yes! We won! I gotta hit him!
But yeah, that's basically all the major things I've learned from Dream while watching all of his manhunts several times over. Hopefully you guys learned something about strategy and the art of war and stuff, cause I for sure did. Also, one last thing I want to mention is my friends Zyphon and Wills have just posted their own version of this type of video on their channels at the same time mine went up, so go check them out also. My socials and Discord are in the description. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all in the next one.